Comedian Rob Schneider had been the star of an ad campaign from State Farm Insurance, though there has been some backlash toward him. Let's take a look at the original video.
Thanks for all the savings with the discount double check. Gonna come in really handy with the baby.
You're all set. Let me make you a copy.
Ashley making copies, the Ashmeister.
Hi, Rich. This is Steve and Sandy.
Steve and Sandy and Steve-O Jr.
Actually, we're having a little girl. We're gonna name her Abigne Apollinaria.
Steve's kid. Steve and Sandy getting it done. More people-orama.
Making savings with a discount double check. State Farm.
That ad has been pulled, and you may wonder why. Well, comedian Rob Schneider, outside of his role as the Rich Meister, has been a vocal opponent to vaccinations. He has been part of the anti-vax movement, calling for a stop to mandatory vaccinations, or for people to not have to vaccinate their children or themselves, to which many people were in opposition to, including vocal campaigns from social media pages Science Babe and Chow Babe, who are being credited with getting State Farm to pull the ads.
Rob Schneider is a vocal opponent against vaccinations, claiming they kill and cause permanent injuries. Diseases that were once all but eradicated are starting to reappear at alarming rates, thanks to a single fraudulent debunked study. It's time to make a stand. Let State Farm know you don't agree with endangering public health. After all, State Farm provides health insurance, and nothing insures public health more than getting vaccinated. If you have a State Farm policy, contact your agent and demand that someone who publicly states dangerous opinions should not be a spokesperson.
I'm on one end of the spectrum on this issue. I have no understanding why anti-vax is an issue. I don't understand why there's still a debate. You know, the idea of there being a vaccination and immunization debate right now sounds to me like having a debate on whether the Earth is round or not.
But some people are having.
We do have the Flat Earth Society, so I guess, you know. But I think that corporations like this and people in the public, I have a social responsibility to not perpetuate this misuse, like this misinformation.
But dangerous misinformation.
Exactly. The things that are putting other children and people in danger, not vaccinating your kid and being a proponent of not doing that, could potentially affect not just your child, but all the children around them.
That's the thing about that movement. It's not purely a selfish thing or a self-motivated thing. It's the public. There's going to be other children. There's going to be elderly. There's going to be people who perhaps can't afford or have no access to being immunized.
Are vaccinated. Even people who have had vaccines, you know, the immunization rate is not 100% successful. So there are, you know, sometimes measles is 95%, which means it's high, it's very effective, but it's not 100%. So you are running the risk of endangering other people, and I have very low patience for people who think that this is, you know, the evidence is non-conclusive. No, it's not. It is very conclusive.
You were telling me about a chart that revealed diseases, percentages of being immunized, and also possible effects that could happen as a result.
So it's a comparison chart, and it's something that the Australian Health Department did as a public service, and it kind of has the effects of the diseases versus the side effects of the vaccine, which people are concerned about. They think that thimerosal caused autism, which was a very big thing.
I think that's been debunked a few times over.
It's been so debunked, and people still use that argument as, you know, to say that vaccines have all these negative effects, side effects. So this is a very accurate chart. It's evidence-based. It is something that, you know, has examples, and I have a few examples that I remember. Effects of the disease for taking hepatitis B. 1 in 4 victims of the disease will get liver cancer, versus the side effects of the vaccine, which is 1 in 100 might get a fever.
Fevers are...
Yes!
Okay, listen. They suck, but they suck less than liver cancer.
Yes, we have things like polio. You know, 50% of the victims of polio will end up paralyzed if they survive. And this is compared to 1 in 10 that might get localized redness from a vaccine.
Yes, I've discussed this before in a video about herd immunity, which I found a disagreement with using charts with public immunization rates, but also not perhaps misunderstanding them or misconstruing them to imply a false sense of security that it's simply not there, considering race between different counties and cities and states. And some people had argued, well, it's psychologically damaging to have a shot, and but that's hard for me to get behind. I mean, I am afraid of needles, but I am much more afraid of getting liver cancer or being paralyzed, or worse, causing someone else to have those horrible results.
And pertaining to this whole Rob Schneider debacle, I'm very much in favor of pulling someone as a spokesperson for a health insurance company that, like the video said, favors practices that are very dangerous. Mm-hmm. What's your stance on this?
Well, normally if it's something maybe more benign, I would say leave him,
Freedom of speech.
Freedom. Yeah. Well, there are some issues here. I mean, for instance, was the corporation right to drop him? I think in this case, when it's a case of public health and spreading of misinformation, yeah, it probably is the right case, also considering what State Farm does. But there is, of course, on the other side, free speech. And, he didn't do that while he was the spokesperson. He did that in his life. I disagree, though. I mean, he is in the public eye, and he does have a platform, whether it's earned or fair to have or not. And it's very ironic to be paired with a health insurance company for this. But would it be wise for other companies to follow suit in a similar situation?
I think when referring to issues that right now are as important and influential as something like vaccines, because unfortunately, like we said, it still seems to be a debate. Mm-hmm. And there are, now institutions I know in California and schools in California that are saying that it's not mandatory to vaccinate your kids, and you can do the practice that you believe is better for your children, and things that are very upsetting if you feel like, anti-vaxxers are insane. Am I allowed to say that?
You can say that.
So I think that other companies should be aware of that social platform, like you said, and they have a voice, and they have a vote, and they have influence on, especially in the media, on the general populace. Mm-hmm. I think they should be very cognizant of that, and I think that they need to be aware of the people they put as spokespeople for their company, for their services, or for their mission statement. Mm-hmm.
Well, I certainly agree with you, though I'm curious, though, what do you think? Was State Farm right to pull Rob Schneider as a spokesperson for them regarding his views for anti-vaccinations? Or perhaps had they gone too far in the interest of free speech? Let us know what you think below in the comments, and please be sure to subscribe.